episode 17 of Trapped My Mind. I'm your host, Seth, and today with me I got the one-of-a-kind fucking... I don't even know if I should call you Jacob Weslowski or Wes, because that's how I know you as Wes.
Let the viewers go as Wes.
But when we do the title for the show, do you want it as just Wes, one off, or do you want like your full name?
Just Wes.
Okay, so this is Wes. Known the guy since fucking kindergarten, and let me just tell you, before we even get started, you're probably going to hear sniffling from maybe both of us because we tried starting this podcast maybe 2 hours ago, and the mic, I insisted on having wall mounts, and they weren't secured tightly because I'm not fucking handy, and basically his wall mount fell when he tried to adjust it. So we had to go to Ace a couple different times to try to get wall mounts, and right now it's working. We're hands-free. It's from the wall, but we dug up a lot of, drywall and
drywall and
sawdust and shit. So apologize for the sniffles if you get them, but finally 2 hours later, we're here, and we're ready because we're fucking hungry, because we also haven't eaten.
Yep.
So I apologize for that.
Friday. You have to get down.
It's true. It's Friday before Easter, so those of you who celebrate, by the time I hear this, you would have had a good Easter. But fucking regardless, dude. We're ready. We're ready to get ripping because I know we're fucking starving.
Yep.
Anyway, Wes, you just fucking, you just passed your board exam to become a nurse.
I did.
So, Wes's background, he's going to become a nurse. Are you excited?
Yeah, I started in April, a little bit mid-April. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I'm going to have people's lives in my hands. I think I'm ready. It's just more of an experience thing, so once I get there, I think I'll be good. Yeah,
and you start this month?
Yep, 19th.
Shout out Bob. Same birthday. And you're working nights?
Yep, midnights, 7 to 7.
So before we get into kind of the first topic, have you worked nights before, or you've done clinicals at nights?
Clinicals, yeah.
Do you like nights?
Well, I'm a night owl. Most people know that if you know me. I'm usually up to like 3 in the morning. But, once it hits like 4:30 or 5, that's when like the exhaustion starts setting in. And especially if you work like multiple days in a row.
And what's a night shift?
7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Mm.
So my clinical, I got screwed. I had to start later than others. So I had to go back to back to back a couple of times. And the third night, sleep exhaustion, you're just tired. Oh, they're just brutal.
Shit'll get you. So you have to work 3/12s then?
Yeah, 3/12s. So I'm off 4 days a week, but it's 3/12s. Hopefully, I'm going to do some in a row, but,
Yeah, it's a good thing you're a night owl, because I remember I was working, nights. It wasn't 12-hour shifts. It would be from, 3 a.m. to, 11, and that, I fucking hated that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's not for my whole life. Just starting off midnights,
Yeah, no, and plus, you're going in, I like going in to work at night. It's just, like you said, I get exhausted.
Yeah.
But anyway, that can kind of take us to our first topic. You want to talk about jobs that deserve more compensation, right?
Correct, yep.
So I'm guessing nursing's one of those jobs.
Yep, nurse assistants as well. I believe they should get paid more, yeah.
So what other jobs are you thinking?
Besides the nurse route, because I'm biased because I am a nurse, I believe teachers should get paid more, firefighters, EMTs, cops.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the main few that I believe deserve to get paid more, but I'm sure there's loads else out there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think all of those are very important position or important titles to have because they provide safety and help grow our future.
Yeah.
Question for you: do you think these people in these jobs have the right to get pissed off that they're not making so much because they'll know that that's not the job where they can earn the most, but they go into it anyway. So do you think those people that hold those jobs have the right to get pissed off that they're not getting paid more?
I believe it's everybody's own individual belief.
Okay.
So you don't go into the job for money. You go into it because you that's what you want to do. Like if I was going to nursing for the money, that's just not it. Because like I'm gonna be wiping people's butts, all that stuff. You don't do that for money. You do it because you actually want to like help people.
Yeah.
Or protect people if you want to be like a cop or firefighter. So, I mean, you go in there with a mindset, okay, you do your background, Google search and everything. You know what the salary is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have the idea. I mean, it just all depends. Like, this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Are you going to be happy with that salary? Or are you going to, like, try and advocate for more salary in your life? Or what are you going to do, So, I think you just got to have the right mindset. And if it's what you want to do, that's just what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, that's probably how, like, most nurses and teachers and, firefighters think, because they're not there for the money. So that's how you get better employees, because they care about their jobs. As where lots of times in business, I'll straight up say there's several people who are literally there because they can make money, but they don't give a shit about the business or anything that they're doing. Do you think that if like teachers and firefighters and all these jobs that we've talked about, if they started getting higher salaries, do you think it would attract more people, like more quality people, or do you think it would just attract more people who are just looking for something else that they can make money on, and we don't get as good quality like teachers and nurses? And
I think it's both ways on that question. I think you are going to attract more like qualified people. You're going to attract more people who actually want to do the profession also. You get paid more, so I mean it's going to attract other people as well who like see like, oh, I could make close to 6 figures, It's only 2 years of school. That's easy. And then, they might not have, like, the best outlook on, like, the job.
Yeah, and that's where I think it gets, like, you got to be careful, because if you raise it too much, you're getting the people who deserve to get paid more money, which I think is right, but at the same time, if somebody who doesn't give a shit about their jobs in business, it's not ruining, like, lives. But if somebody who doesn't give a shit about their job goes into nursing or goes into being a firefighter or a teacher, then now we have students who aren't trained well because their teachers don't care. Or now we have people who aren't getting very good care taken of them because we have people tending to them that don't really care. So that's a tough issue, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a real struggle trying to find the right balance with salary and stuff.
So, your opinion, I know neither of us are professionals in this regard, but what do you think? Well, I know you think that nurses and them should be paid more, but what do you think is just, like, fair? Because are you concerned that people, like, if they got paid more, people of, like, shitty quality would come in, or no?
I don't, since I'm just starting off, and this is, like, my first real job.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss salaries.
Yeah.
Like ours.
I know.
Like, not even like a dollar amount. I mean, like, a percentage more. Like, they should be paid, like, on average, 15% more. Like,
I'd
have
say,
you thought
like,
about that?
15-20% more, yeah.
Than they currently are?
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair
And do you know
representation.
Do you know if, like, nurses, do they get, like, once you're a nurse, do you get, like, promoted to, like, head nurse? Or, like, do you get, like, just yearly increases of wage?
There's a thing called the charge nurse on the floor. And basically they, like, write out the plan for, like, all the other nurses and, like, explain, like, okay, you're going to be taking care of these 4 or 5 patients. And then you have all the nurses on the floor, and they all, like, report to the charge nurse at the end of the day if there's any, like, problems. And then the charge nurse writes down on the sheet of paper and tells the new nurse coming on. And then the 2 nurses talk.
So the charge nurse is almost like the nursing manager?
Well, yeah, there's a charge nurse and a nursing manager.
Oh.
So the nursing manager, if there's, like, any problems between, like, coworkers or, like, God forbid, like, drinking on the job or, like, substance abuse, that's what the nurse manager is for. And then charge nurse is kind of just oversees.
Okay.
For.
So, but people can be a nurse pretty much their whole career, right? Like, just a nurse?
Yeah.
Not just, but like they
Yep.
remain a nurse. Do you know, like, do you like they? Let's say I've been a nurse for 30 years. When I leave and retire, am I making more than I was as a starting nurse, or do they just have the same salary their entire career? Do you know?
So I think it depends on the hospital.
Really?
First of all, I know U of M has great benefits. After you work there, I think 10 years, you're automatically qualified at 100,000 each year after that. I can't really speak too much on other hospitals, but I think the more you gain experience, the more you're going to get paid more. I don't think that, like, say 30 years down the road from now, I mean, I don't expect to make the same salary I am now starting off.
Okay, well that's at least good because
Yeah.
I know, like, I can think business world because that's where I'm from. Like, that's my background. So like lots of times your compensation's tied to like a title. Not always, but so like to get more compensation, at least significantly more, you have to get promoted to a higher title. But in nursing, you just get like.
So the charge nurse, I think they do make more than regular nurses just because they have that. They kind of like coordinate everything on the floor.
Yeah, but the other nurses, they just get like what, yearly like reviews.
Yeah, yearly reviews, I would probably say.
And if you meet your metrics or aren't fucking up, you get like an incremental wage increase.
I think it's probably just yearly bonus or like yearly increase in salary. I don't know if there's like certain quotes that you have to hit because it's not like a business thing. They just like just taking care of lives and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just to wrap that, you're saying that these positions deserve to get paid more, but within reason, so we don't pull in fuckheads that.
Definitely within reason, because I think if it gets drastically boosted, I think you might draw in the wrong crowd also.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we agree on that one, so we can just go right on into the next one. And I'm curious to see what you have to say about this, because you wanted to talk about video games, the good and the bad.
Yeah, there are good and bad. I can't believe I'm admitting it, but there are good and the bad.
So what specifically about that did you want to discuss?
Just the pros and the cons, what does gaming do for you and how does it impact your life positively or negatively?
Okay. So what's the pros?
So the pros, so I know for me, we all used to hang out back in the day, like pretty much every day. But now, like, we're older now, we don't see each other as much.
Who's we?
Me, you, Ross, Ryan, Jake, and all the other boys.
All the other boys in the neighborhood. We all grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just like a way to communicate. I talk to Fry every night on there, Margie, Kyle. So, it's not like social in person, but you're still, like, keeping in touch.
Yeah.
Some games, it tests your decision making, your hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what we're have to have a discussion on. What do you mean it tests your hand-eye? Because isn't your hand just going to be on?
So I play PC.
Okay.
So you gotta have good tracking skills with your mouse. Like,
you don't use a controller when you're playing like COD?
I don't play COD anymore, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Moving on to
deep subjects here.
Okay.
So the game we play every night is called Valorant. It's a shooter game for those who don't know what that is. And it's a keyboard and mouse only. You're not allowed to plug in a controller.
Jesus.
So this is my first ever keyboard and mouse game too. So like it's just.
You never played Sims?
No, never played Sims.
Okay.
So it improves your coordination, hand and eye tracking and everything, because you gotta follow like the enemies with your mouse and track their heads.
Yeah, I guess it's just a different hand-eye coordination than I'm used to thinking, because like I'm thinking like baseball, you have to like put your hands. I guess you make sense, because you have to put your hands to match what you're seeing in a way that's effective.
Yeah, because in one moment, the enemy could be like right to your left, and they could teleport right to your right. You gotta quickly move your hand and track with your eyes where they're gonna be or where you think they're gonna be.
Yeah, I get the like the decision making because like if for example, Call of Duty I'm ass at, and it's because I'm like, oh, if there's two guys coming, I always just like shoot in the middle. I'm like, all right, well, fucking
But it's
spray
just
and
a spray and pray.
Yeah. Okay. So then keep going. You said test, your mental ability and then your hand and eye.
Yeah.
And social.
I also think, it's a good outlet to, like, express yourself, like, if you want to go into streaming and everything like that. Twitch is a very big following and growing every single day, and you can just express your, like, life on that if you think streaming is something you'd be into, and you can just, like, try and gather a community that, like, really respects you and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, when I think of Twitch, again, it's funny you say express because the business part of me thinks that on like Twitch you market yourself. Like, if you're authentic, then yeah, you're expressing yourself and you're doing shit you like, and hopefully you'll pull in the people that like the same types of things. But I feel like if I'm on Twitch, isn't that like a way to like get revenue? Is like you're streaming?
Yeah, some like the big streamers, they make good money.
Yeah, which is another topic we can go into because I think that's insane.
Like, I watch this one person every single day. I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but she's gonna like retire in like 2 years, and like she's only like 30. Like, that's crazy to make that much money off Twitch to be able to retire by 30.
I have a question, but I want to hold because I want to get through this one. But it's around that. Yeah. So but I feel like if I was trying to make money, I'd be like trying to market something I think everybody else wants to see.
So yeah, back when Fortnite was released, because that's like was like such a big game back in the day. Back in the day, it still is. I don't play it anymore, but that's what most of the streamers were streaming was Fortnite because that was like the next big thing.
So everyone wanted to see it.
Everyone wanted to watch it. That's why Ninja grew.
Yeah.
To like such popular limits. That's why like a lot of people are like famous now for streaming because Fortnite brought that out. That's
insane. The money that's in video games is insane. But okay, so what do you think the negatives are?
This is like a pro and negative. I don't know. The negatives are it's definitely addicting. Video games, I would say. So you're like spending more time on that, and you're not like paying attention more to like your relationships in the real world.
Yeah. So I would just argue that a little bit and saying, well, because for me, like I'm not addicted to video games.
Yeah.
But there's something I could be addicted to. So I think it's a thing that you can like abuse and like be addicted to. But I wouldn't say like for example, like, and I haven't dabbled in this, but like cocaine's addicting or like tobacco's addicting because like it keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
And like no matter who you are, well, I shouldn't say that, I suppose, but like it has something that like pulls you back. Is where I feel like video games, it's like maybe it's addicting for some people.
Yeah.
But definitely. It's not going to be addicting to others. But now that I'm saying it out loud, I think that might be the same way with like tobacco and cocaine. So you're right.
So I think like the addiction part in video games are like you want to get better at the game you're playing.
Yeah.
So you're constantly going to be on trying to improve.
Yeah.
So like we're talking about like Call of Duty and Fortnite. So like people spend like hours in the day. Days. I know in Modern Warfare 2, I'd probably close to like probably 20 days on that game.
Yeah, it's insane.
Just addicting because you want to be the very best that you can. So I think that's where like the addiction setting comes in.
Yeah.
And now like more games nowadays have like competitive rankings. Because I know when we used to play in the older days, there wasn't really that much competitive scenes. But now like Call of Duty, they got Warzone tournaments, you have Fortnite tournaments, all this. You have esports teams. And they're all trying to compete to be the very best. And, like, there's huge prize pools to win.
I know, that's insane. But, yeah, I'd get absolutely just shit on by all... And then I had, like, some, like, 9-year-old, like, get shit on.
It's spring break now? Oh, dude. Yeah. All the little Timmies are on right now.
I fucking believe it. So, do you think that in the same... It's kind of like in the same vein as it being addicting. Can it be a waste of time?
Yeah, I think there are. It could be a waste of time with some games. I mean, or just in general at all. I mean. I don't know what else to say.
It's just because, like, and actually you kind of already alluded to it. You said because sometimes you'll focus on the video games instead of like your in-person relationships.
Yeah.
But like I know, I mean, I don't know. For me, I feel like if I'm playing them with you guys, like if we're playing Call of Duty at night or something, which I don't have an Xbox right now because I can't find one. I don't think that's a waste of time because the only thing I'd be doing at that time normally at night is like watching TV.
Yeah, or just social media if you use social media.
Yeah, but like if I like got into like a fucking rabbit hole during the day and I'm playing like FIFA by myself for like 4 hours, sometimes I'm like, all right, well I feel like I just wasted my whole day.
Yeah,
but
that goes the same with anything. I mean, that video games, TV.
Yeah, you could always be more productive.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. If for example, like video games, if it's addicting, like what are you improving in yourself? You know, that you could be doing other things, but you're doing video games instead. But the same thing can be said about like TV and movies, which I'm really bad at. So
yeah.
All right. Do you think video games is considered a sport or are considered a sport?
So back in the day, no, but now that like it's esports is a thing, and it's sometimes broadcasted actually on cable too, I'm starting to consider it more of a sport, which is very hard to like think of because like video games, like how is that a sport? But like you got teams actually competing for prizes.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I'm kind of like comparing it to like football, like winning the championship, like. There's all these tournaments, trying to be the number one. I don't know. I consider it a sport nowadays.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, it really is to think about.
Because, I mean, regardless of, like, the money there, and, like, it's just so weird that, like, me playing something that's emulating a sport, like if I'm playing Madden,
yeah,
that's me trying to play something that's replicating football. Mm-hmm. So, it's like I put in the same vein as like TV because it's just digital. So I don't see it as a sport, but also I kind of do because there's winners and losers,
yep.
And there's prizes and like championships and like,
yep.
you can make a career out of it.
Yeah, you can.
Which is that again, it blows my mind. Like I think playing video games are fun, but it blows my mind that people watch other people play video games. And I know you've done that too, and I don't
every day,
I don't get it. Why?
Just for entertainment. I mean, it's just so cool seeing someone be like so good at a game that you play also, and you just pick up on like little things that they do, and like it helps you improve next time you go on.
So in like Call of Duty, where like you can like just set up a game of like all bots.
Yeah.
Would you want?
Fry's very.
Yeah, because Fry does like a 360 like silent bullet shit up. Yeah, Fry's also insane at sniping. But like, would you watch just bots running around?
I think that's where I would start losing attention.
Okay, so what if they're on like expert mode?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Try and get a high kill streak. See how good you can fare against the expert bots.
Man. So would you rather watch like certain video games than you would like certain sports or TV shows?
So when Among Us like first got big, I was really into watching like the streams.
Among Us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would rather watch that than like some certain TV shows or movies that just got released, just because I played that game and I really wanted to see like how good you could be at the game. Learning different like techniques in the game, lying to your friends, like trying to see what they say so I can implement that next time I play.
Oh, Among Us, the one on the phone or the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, sorry, I was trying to think what game you were talking about. So you'd watch people playing Among Us?
Yep. I still do, actually.
That's just people like popping in. Like it's not even like there's like, well, there's killing, but like So you more so watch it for strategy instead of entertainment, or is it entertainment too?
Both, because so we play with people on their phones, or you can play on the Nintendo Switch now. I don't know if you knew
I
that.
didn't know that.
So the people I watch, they are all on PC. And I know you played Among Us. I think you just played once or twice.
A couple times. It's fun.
Yeah. So if you play PC only, they have like certain mods that you can download, and it brings a whole new variety to the game. So like when you played, there's just 2 imposters, and the rest are crewmates.
Yeah.
So some of the mods that they do are it's called a morphling. It's an imposter, but they can morph into like a crewmate's color and like frame them to like get the crewmate voted off.
Okay.
You have a sheriff, which is a crewmate, but they have a kill button. And if they think someone's an imposter, they can try and press the kill button, and if they're correct, they kill an imposter. Or if they kill a crewmate, they die and the crewmates die, so that helps the imposters out if they get it wrong. And then the last one's called a jester, which hence the name. They try and get voted out. Their main focus is getting voted out, so they just like do like funny stuff. So like say if you just killed a body, and I'm the jester, I could just be walking on the body trying to get like voted out. And if I get voted out, I win. Nobody else wins.
Even if you didn't kill it.
Yeah.
So if you walked up on a body and saw it.
Yeah.
Just like
so like,
it.
yeah. So like all the new stuff that like the streamers like add, or I don't know if the streamers add it, but like the new mods keep it fresh and entertaining. Because if it were just like the same stuff that every single day, I don't think I could stay into it.
Do you think? Because I mean, like the strategies behind these games and stuff, I think are interesting, and I think playing the games are fun. But I just can't enjoy watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you enjoy watching like anime and cartoons and stuff, and I'm more so. And I love my TV, but it's now that I'm thinking about it, the only like cartoon I really watch would be like Family Guy or Big Mouth, and I don't really watch it religiously.
Big Mouth's a classic.
Yeah, well, I think Family Guy is a classic. Big Mouth's funny,
Yeah.
But do you think that maybe for somebody to watch a video game, they kind of have to like cartoons?
No, I don't think you have to like cartoons to enjoy like watching video games at all.
I just feel like, well, I mean,
do you think that you have to like cartoons to watch video games?
I think it might help because, like, again, I think the idea of video games, I think fun to play and like the strategies and shit, like what you're saying about these new mods and Among Us sound interesting, but just watching, like, I couldn't just find it fun watching like.
So I think like of streams like almost as like a TV show kind of.
Yeah.
So I like whenever like certain streamers that I watch like go live, I'm like, oh my god, like this is kind of like the next episode, like what's gonna happen like in this stream. You know, it's like they might be the same game, but like something new happens every single day, or they do something better than they did yesterday. You know, if they got like a 10 kill one yesterday, oh my god, they got a 20 kill one today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like cool, just like watching that like every day and just seeing what that person brings to the table.
Yeah. So would you? Okay, so you're saying that video games are sports.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that these people who play these video games, like ninja people who are really good, should be seen as like incredible or put on the same pedestal as like athletes like LeBron James? I know you love him. Just people who like fucking push their bodies to these limits and like have these like, so you want to say God-given talents.
So it's a yes and a no answer to me right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, yes, you have sports, which people put their body with physical, mental toughness, and well-being. And then, I mean, because playing video games, I mean, that is also taxing on your body if you do it for a long time a day. I mean, I'm not saying it's as hard as like a basketball game or football game or hockey game. But if you sit down and play for like 6 or 7 hours, I mean, that's like mentally exhausting.
Yeah, but you're not getting like injured, and like you don't have to like sacrifice like and I'm not a professional athlete, but like you hear these people like, oh, I have to train every single day, and like I'm away from my family all the time, and like when you're playing video games, sure, you might play a lot because that's how you get good.
Yeah.
But you can do it at home, so like your family's still right there. But you have to go do all these things and travel if you're like a sports athlete, like a traditional sports athlete.
Well, I mean, if you play video games, I mean, you could play with your family also. I'm not taking that out of the question. But, I mean, if you're... So I'm going to go back into the streaming category. If you're a streamer, you know, you could... I mean, you set your hours, technically, but you could be on for, like, 16 hours a day just streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that every single day. So, I mean, yeah, you're still at home. And you can take breaks, but your focus is still right in front of you on the video games.
Yeah.
And I think it's, like, now that they have the esports teams that I keep, like, going back to, I mean, so the prize pools are insane.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of times there'll be esports stars or esports athletes that will get more money than lots of other athletes. The money there is insane. That's not what I'm, like, disputing. I think if you want to compare talent of, like, esports and regular athletes, then sure, maybe I'll say that you can compare them because it's a different type of talent, but it is something you have to work on.
Yeah.
But I would still say, like, I think it's much more, and I'm not professional in either of these capacities, but I would think it's much more difficult to be a professional athlete of the traditional sense than it is esports because you have to sacrifice more. That's my opinion.
Okay, I can respect that.
Would you disagree?
On both ways. I agree with you, and yet I also disagree with you. So.
This guy's the yin and the yang. He's just a full embodiment of the yin and the yang.
That's right.
What part do you disagree with?
I think it takes more skill sometimes to be better at a video game than maybe a sport in real life.
So you're saying, like, it's more incredible. These esports stars are sometimes more credible than, like, professional athletes.
Yeah, I think maybe in some games, like, being the number one in, like, a certain video game might mean more than being number one in a certain sport, which is incredible to think about.
Yeah, I don't know that I can agree with that, but that's okay.
I mean, I'm talking to the mindset of the gamers right now because I know you're not
into
gaming as much as you used to be.
I know, but I'm just, like, thinking, like you said, if you're a gamer, you set your own schedule. You can do it with your family and your friends. You can, as where if you're an athlete, you have a set schedule that you must follow. You have a diet you must follow, otherwise you'll have injuries. Mm-hmm. Your career doesn't last as long because you just physically can't do it. So, like, you have a smaller window. There's more you have to sacrifice, and you have to work hard for the talent. As where with gaming, the only thing I see is that you have to work hard for the talent. You don't really have to sacrifice that much, and you can play. Your longevity of your career can literally be as long as you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a competitive player or a streamer, I think as long as the game is still, like, in the main, like, focus, because I mean, it all depends on the longevity of the game, also.
Yeah, but don't the best esport... That's the thing, too, is you can be an esport star that is competitive in multiple different genres of games, as where there's not many professional athletes that would be playing basketball and football.
Yeah. That's also fair.
So, like, I mean, that just shows you that I feel like it's easier to be good at video games than it is to be good at sports, but that's just my opinion. I'm ignorant to how much skill it takes to be good at video games, because I never really tried putting all my effort into video games. However, when I was playing FIFA hardcore, I got to D1 online, and I would get fucked up in D1, but I kicked ass in D2, so, I mean...
Yeah, but imagine being number one on that leaderboard for FIFA. Like, yeah, you're in Division 1.
Yeah, but I feel like that's something, like... I feel like if you said, Seth, you need to either try being a professional athlete or you need to try being the top-ranked person in the world at FIFA, I actually think I could, if I really committed myself to it, be a best FIFA player. There's no way in hell I'm going to become a professional athlete.
Interesting.
And you can argue that, but I mean, or even not the number one ranked, but, like, professionally ranked where I'm making money for my FIFA games, I think I could do that. And, like, I don't even practice all that much.
Yeah, I mean, getting into, like, the video game and sports, I think it might be easier to, like, get into video games, like, competitively easier than sports, because you have to be recruited. I mean, you have to be recruited in both, but you can also join tournaments as a video game player. if you're not recruited, like if you meet the certain requirements, you can still enter. Like whereas in sports, you have to be like super good, like number one in your high school, get all the recruiters out. So I think it's more difficult to get into like sports, being recruited and everything, than it is in video games.
Okay, which is why I think there's a little bit more prestige to that. But who cares about prestige if you're making fucking $100 million playing video games? Yeah. So I'm just saying, prestige-wise, I'm still like, people who are professional athletes have a little bit more of my respect. Not saying I don't like people who are an athlete for video games, but like, if I look at who worked harder, I'm going to look at sports athlete. But
yeah,
I mean, they're both talented and kick my ass in sports or in video games, so I can't go too much into that. But all right, pivoting to like a completely different question. You also brought up religion. I know you grew up Catholic or Christian. I don't really know the difference.
Catholic.
And you went to catechism and you went to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you still go to church every Sunday?
So COVID out.
Jesus,
COVID.
You have it?
No.
COVID.
Oh, I haven't been since this like all started. Occasionally I still watch on TV, but it's not the same as being in person.
You can watch, like your church puts on?
Not my church specifically, but like
you just watch a church.
There's like an actual channel for church, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You enjoy that?
Not so much as being in person.
Okay, so would you say that you have like strong faith?
Yes, but sometimes I do question it. I think I was raised ever since I was born and being a Catholic. Like you mentioned, I went to catechism, so it was hard to like doubt those beliefs. But sometimes I do. Like sometimes I question like what happens like once we die. Like, do I actually believe what I was raised to believe, and like heaven and hell, or do I kind of want to think of like, possibility of reincarnation? Like there could be like multiple different things. Like I don't know if one certain religion has all the right answers. That's why it's so interesting to like think of multiple concepts.
What do you think? What are your thoughts for how the world started? Do you support science or do you support like Adam and Eve?
I support the Adam and Eve theory.
Really?
Yeah. Are you a science guy? Oh, I think I know the answer to this, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold on. Well, let me see. Maybe I don't understand Adam and Eve. My understanding of it is that God put two people here, and
so God originally had the man first. It was just him, and then he was lonely, and God made like animals, and that wasn't like enough for the man. He needed like something that was like flesh and bones like him. So then God made woman and brought it to man. And then he was finally happy because it was something like him, but a different version of him. And then that's how the concept of like men and women got created.
Okay. So, and I apologize if my questions come off as like insensitive or like throwing away your beliefs, but so you think that there was nothing and then like a God, a supreme being, just put somebody there? Like just...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I do.
So where do you think all of this scientific, theories came from? Like,
I think that's the more realistic ideology of thinking. Like, things like evolved over time, so it's easier to like believe a scientific version of how everything created than like, one supreme being just created everything.
So are you saying that like the scientific belief of like evolution and the religious belief of like it was put here are both equally as believable or disbelievable or unbelievable as one another?
So I think in the aspect of like other individuals, I think the more easier one to accept is the scientific version than the religious version.
Yeah, I'm asking you though, like in your mind, is it the only thing that could have happened was God put him here, or is it kind of like, well, I could see either or, but I'm choosing to believe that God put him here?
Me personally, I think it could go both ways.
Okay.
That one, God put them there, or two, I do kind of believe the story of evolution and scientific thinking, but I'm more so on the religious path. But I do see both sides to the story.
Okay, and I think that, yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, your belief any way is fine, but I was just trying to like see if like you didn't think that there was any way that evolution could have happened that had to have been God, or if like it could be either or, but you're choosing to believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you question what happens when you die?
Yeah, that's like my main question right now in life is it just a heaven or hell, or is there something that happens with your soul after you die?
So I'm sorry, you said you're Catholic or Christian?
Catholic.
So is it Catholicism? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I feel like really smart using it. So with Catholicism, do you do you have like a traditional belief of Catholicism, or do you have like a more that's my question is like the way I know you, and again,
I mean, I'd probably say more so modern, because if it was traditional, then I'd probably be shunned away from my village for like my thinking of like, because like back in the day it was just like strictly heaven or hell, but like now that like times are advancing, I'd probably say it's more of a modern Catholicism view.
Okay, I was wondering because like that's how I know you as, just because people. And I hate that it's the way, but like people will not just like Catholicism or Christianity, but like any religion, people will use it, and like you have to fucking do exactly what our interpretation of the Bible is. When there's lots of interpretations of what things mean, and lots of times it'll isolate types of people or people with different belief systems, and I don't think that you're like that. So I just had to ask. Do you believe in karma?
Yeah, I believe in karma.
Is that a Catholicism belief, or is that just like
I think it's just.
Was it in the Bible? Was it ever mentioned? Like I don't know.
I don't think it's ever mentioned in the Bible, but I think just like a worldwide view. Like if you either believe in it or if you don't believe in it, I don't think it has a certain religious aspect to it.
See, but wouldn't the idea of like heaven or hell kind of correlate to karma? Because like if you're a good person, you'll get into heaven. If you're good, if you do good things and you're a good person, you'll have good karma. I kind of see the two as one of the same.
Okay, now that you mentioned it like that, you changed your mind. Yeah. So I guess I can see how that can be interpreted.
Okay.
Good karma, heaven, bad karma.
And again, this might sound ignorant, but like in Catholicism and Christianity and any type of belief that stems from the Bible, can't you just be forgiven for your sins, like if you just like repent for them? So like, couldn't I be a shitty person and then come like, I'm thinking I'm gonna die soon, I'm getting older, I could just start trying to change?
So yeah, that's the belief that it's like passed down through scriptures.
All is forgiven.
Yeah, but there's not just heaven and hell. There's also purgatory.
Yeah.
So like, if God thinks that He doesn't necessarily know what to do with you, He might just send you there. So like, if you were like a bad person, but you also want to like try and move on and like better yourself, that might be a place for you instead of just you're going straight to hell. But it's a tough call, because like there could be despicable people in the world. Like example is Hitler. Like say if like, oh, I want to like change, but like he did all that stuff.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah. I think that's like a person deserving of going to hell.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, and this is for anything. Who's to say like, so is killing 2 people okay? Or is killing 3 people? What's the line that makes me bad?
It's whatever God's interpretation is. I don't have a certain number.
Yeah, I just and I respect everybody's religious beliefs. The thing that gets me is I just don't understand how like the idea of like God, existing and being like, you killed 3 people or you were a rapist, but you tried figuring it out and you got better, fine. But like the next person comes in, well, you killed 4 people.
Yeah.
I can't like.
It's a hard time accepting.
It's just I don't I don't know. And honestly, lots of people who are Christian or Catholic or anything like that, like or any religion, they seem to speak of it in a very positive light. Like it brings them, it brings them good morality and stuff like that. So I'm almost jealous of it, but like my mind cannot comprehend that that's even a possibility. So
I think it's just if you're like raised with it. Like I don't think you were raised with a.
My parents were Catholic or Christian,
but they didn't really force that on you
church.
guys or
No.
anything. So I think it just all matter if that's a big thing when you're raised up.
Yeah.
Because like if I wasn't raised up being Catholic or a certain religion, I don't know what I would, believe in.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe because Chris's episode, and if he hears this and I'm misspeaking, I hope he tells me. But what I took from that was he grew up Catholic. He went to Catholic school, but he's not. He's not like a practicing like Catholic or Christian anymore. Not to the way that he was when he grew up. So I'm just wondering, like, granted, you definitely grew up with more of a religious background than myself, but it sounds like he had a pretty similar background to you, and your guys' viewpoints seem to be pretty different. So I don't know. I wonder if it's like a combination of what you grew up with, but also what.
Yeah, I think it's what you grew up with, and then as you mature as your own person, you're either gonna accept that you believe that, or you're gonna venture out and think of different things.
Okay. Interesting. So you would say that you're pretty religious in the sense of you have belief in God and stuff, but some of like the way the Bible is interpreted.
I might question.
You might question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to pivot to the fun topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So this guy decided he wanted to talk about, and this probably won't be controversial at all. It'll just be fun
Just
time.
a couple of laughs.
But he wanted to talk about childhood stories, and I could see this going anywhere. So I'll let you tick it off because I have a feeling you have a couple stories in mind, and I could add two as needed.
Okay, let's give the viewers a story of the Earthcrawler.
This guy loves bringing this up, and I don't understand it. Do you want to tell it, or do you want?
I think you bring it up the best.
Okay, so I don't even know. I think I know how it started. Was it with Nick? Is that how it started? Is that like the first time?
I think that was the first time the world experienced it.
So this fucking guy, we used to have like wrestling nights or fight nights.
Fight nights in the basement.
Yeah, but we never punched. It was just like wrestling
and
horse around. It's typical guys being dudes. And our friend Nick, he was a wrestler, and but he was lighter. Either way, we had just a bunch of guys going, and Wes and Nick decided they'd wrestle.
Because he was the wrestler, like Seth said.
Yeah.
I was the big guy.
And so Wes was always hard to take down, but we're like, well, if anybody can do it, it could probably be Nick because he wrestles, he has technique. And I feel like it was pretty even for a while. Actually, why did he get so mad at first? Because he got mad and started choking you. And then he poked you in the eye. Regardless of why Nick got mad, he started putting Wes in a chokehold, which is like Wes's weakness. So if you ever want to take down Wes, it's the fucking neck.
Chokehold.
But then he poked you in the eye, at some point of him trying to chokehold you. Guy fucking loses his mind, dude, and just starts
I disappeared for a whole half hour after that.
Yeah,
I went into my laundry room.
Yeah, so he loses his mind. You could see him I want to say almost crying, and then next thing you know. He's just in his laundry room. We're all downstairs, but he's in a separate room. And we're sitting there. And we start hearing what the fuck, dude? Mind you, this is 8th or 9th grade. We shouldn't be making those noises in a typical sense. And we're like, what the fuck? And then all the lights just shut off. All the lights are off. We're like, what the fuck? And it's almost if you remember some of those haunted movies where they hear little footsteps, something will move over there, and you're just what the fuck are you hearing? I'm like, dude.
Little jump scare action.
And then this guy just starts, he just drags Nick's leg and just pulls him. Think haunted, scary movie. Where he just pulls Nick's leg.
One moment you see him, one moment you don't.
So Wes held on to the grudge for a good 30 minutes and just turned into a different beast. If you saw Split, The guy at the end, like where he's like his ultimate form.
That's a good representation.
That's Wes when he's Earthcrawler, which I don't know who gave him that name, but
I'd like to think I gave it to myself.
You probably did. But then Wes got he enjoyed the I don't know if you want to call it attention or whatever, but like it made a funny story. But then he just kept doing it. So like I remember a time where it was me, Emily Abdullah, and Wes just hanging out on the couch, just watching TV. Wes decides to go upstairs, probably grab a drink or something. Lights are off. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Anytime you're in the basement, you're at risk for Earthcrawler.
Anytime you're in the basement, or anytime you poke his eye, Earthcrawler could come out. And I haven't seen him out in a while, and I'm fucking thankful for that. But that's one story that everyone always loves because it's just, I mean, look at this guy. Why did you Earthcrawl? There was no need.
There was no need. It's just something that had to happen.
But I will say, a silver lining for that is people know not to fucking poke you in the eye.
That's right.
Or hang out in your basement, I guess.
I think it's more so poke me in the eye.
I mean, Bob did nothing, absolutely nothing to reckon the Earthcrawler, and this guy wanted to come out anyway.
Yeah.
But
just wanted to show himself.
One question I have is, how the fuck are you so nimble? The guy's like walking around on all fours, moving like, quickly, and I'm like, I can't do that.
It just comes easy to me. I don't know why, I mean, I'm not flexible by any means.
Are you like a different person when this thing takes over?
I think I might be. I think just a whole different mentality takes hold.
Well, I'm not sure Earthcrawler will get into heaven. I think Wes will. Earthcrawler, dude, you might have to drop that persona.
Yeah, I might have to.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's always a classic. Is there a different story you had in mind, or you just really wanted people to know about Earthcrawler?
That was the main story I wanted to get told on here.
Guy literally is like, I'm going on a podcast just to introduce Earthcrawler to the world.
I might write a book about it.
I don't. I mean, like a
novel.
I was gonna say a coloring book.
Horror story.
All right, I'm just gonna let that one sit and marinate. Is there any other story? Oh, well, here's a small one. And this isn't funny, but it fucking killed me. Cause I feel like, didn't you get hit? Okay, well, I'll tell the story. And I think it happened like twice in like a month. We'd always played baseball at like Hines Park behind Jake's house.
Yep.
And was it Tyler or Nathan? Wes was a catcher, right? And guy hits a dinger and then throws a bat. Fucking hits Wes right in the face.
I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
Like, cuts out on the ground. Just metal bat to the noggin.
Yep.
And like, there was also no need for Wes to be catcher except for like, no one was like hard pitching. But Wes would just like get the ball. Like, we need somebody to throw it back. But, like, you weren't there to, like, throw anybody out at, like, second or first.
No, not at all. And I'd like to think I wasn't even that close to the batter either. I was, like, a good couple feet away.
I know, that's why, like, when he threw it, that's because he threw it. Like, dude, just drop the bat.
Yeah.
The guy fucking chucked it, and
it's not like we're in the
MLB,
you gotta throw the bat down and run as quick as you can.
Yeah.
It's Little League,
It wasn't even Little League. It was backyard.
I know.
We need some Pablo Sanchez
taking
out
it
there.
serious.
Yeah. Didn't you get, like, hit twice in a row? Like, I don't know if it was, like, with us or, like, maybe it was at school or actually at baseball, but I feel like you got hit in the head with a bat, like, twice in a row. And I'm just like, that's just unfortunate.
So I know the bat definitely happened, and then I want to say a month later, we Fry and I don't know who else, we biked up to Hayes, and Fry was pitching because he's a pitcher, and I was playing third base.
Fry to cannon.
We had a couple of people, so like we were actually like playing the game, and someone was trying to steal third, and Fry throws it at me, but I wasn't paying attention. Hits me in the eye.
Classic.
Guy makes me peg him home on my bike after two.
that sounds accurate.
It's to throw salt in the wound.
What did he say? Like, Wes, why aren't you fucking paying attention?
It's probably something like that, man.
You blew it.
I blew it.
Man, yeah, Jake and Wes always had, and even still to this day, you ought to eat with Jake and Wes.
Oh, it's all childish.
It's just like, you're going to end up with a straw wrapper in your cup, even if you're not part of their fucking weird battle they always have. I always just like sit here, like, no.
Yep.
Can we please just have a meal? That's why I've always been trying to get us to go on like a vacation, because I could just imagine what's going to happen if you guys are together for 5 to 7 days.
Well, that happened in Panama, and I got pneumonia.
I wasn't there.
You were not there.
So I'm saying I need to go on vacation with you guys, because I haven't.
Yeah. We'll have to do a brocation soon.
Yeah. Okay. Good. This is on recording.
Yeah.
Because you've been saying, dude.
What did I say? I said I needed a good job.
We've been saying this.
I needed a good job.
The group of us. No, we were saying, dude, we used to have a brocation fucking group chat that just never came to.
Yeah, nope, never came to fruitation.
Fruitation.
Yep.
Fruition.
Fruitation.
Fruitation.
That's my spin on it.
But now I have you fucking. There's people that listen to this. I hope you know that.
Oh, I know.
A decent amount.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna fucking hear that you committed to a brocation.
That's fine.
Which consists of many people, but who has to be there is me, you, Jake, Wes, Ryan, Ross, and Kyle, I'd say.
Yeah.
And anybody else who's coming in, awesome. But if you don't commit to a trip with all of them, I mean, the people that listen to this...
People are going to come for me.
Yeah, I got some fucking...
But then I'm going to show them the Earthcrawler. So they better not come.
Yeah, but you know what? You've Earthcrawled 1 to 3 people at once. I have a decent following, and I would like to think that they're pretty, supportive, and they're pretty, what's the word I'm thinking of? Loyal.
Loyal.
So if you fucking
it's
back out on this...
It's funny thing about loyalness, because I don't know if I've ever told you about this, but...
Oh, boy.
I've actually gained a following of Earthcrawlers. I'm not the only one. Just keep that in mind.
I couldn't even imagine who else would possibly be an Earthcrawler.
Secrets.
I think he's bluffing. I'm going to call him on the bluff, but this is just becoming nonsense.
Just ride the red, baby. Ride the red.
You want to do that story real quick?
Sure. Yeah, we'll wrap it up with that story.
Well, and one other thing. But, okay, so real quick. Never go gambling ever again. I did one time. We went to Soaring Eagle. So we were like, 18? Because I think that's when we first could go. We're 19.
Yeah, it was either from my 18th or 19th.
Yeah. I told myself, I have $200 to gamble. Yep. Here's what I'm going to do. I was up like $600, $800 on fucking roulette.
Yep.
But then we left because somebody blew it. I think it was Jake. Blew his money.
Probably.
So we left, chilled in the hot tub or whatever, and then we're like, you know what? Let's go back. And I was, in my mind, when we left, I'm like, all right, that's a fucking positive. I'm doing good. I was just playing roulette. We go back, and I'm like, dude, what if I double this, though?
Yeah.
What if I double this?
Imagine.
And so this guy's sitting at the table with like 24 grand in chips.
24 to 30K, yeah.
And it had been red like 30 times in a row. Like probably
5 or 6 times.
No, it was in the teens, dude. It was like 14 or 15 times, yes. Because I was like, no way in fucking hell.
Because I remember we all placed bets on black.
Yeah, but I placed all of my money.
Yeah, you placed all
on black. The guy's sitting there. I'm like, put whatever I had on black. He's like, no. Ride. He's like a hippie, dude. He had like 3 girls with him. He's like, ride the red. Don't try to catch black. I'm like, fuck this guy. There's no way it's gonna be red again. Put it all on black. It's red.
It's red.
So now I'm down to 0. I'm like, I gotta make my money back. Pull out 200 more. Go back to the table. It's still red. So I'm like,
no, it's gotta be black.
I'm like, right? No. I put it on red.
I know you did.
So I was like, all right, I'm putting it on red because the guy said ride the red. So I did it, and it was black. Down $200. I said I'm never gambling again, and to this day I have it, and I don't plan on it.
See, the roulette's fun, but you either gain money real quick or you lose.
Yeah.
Very, very quick.
Well, that's why. Oh, fuck, I'm out of water. That's why it's addictive because I was up, and I was like, yeah, I spent an hour doing this. This was easy as shit. Either way, fuck that. Did not like it, but that takes us to the end of the stories. Unless you have something you want to add about that.
There's many more. We might have to do a part 2.
Just all of stories?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just have a whole separate podcast where people just come on and fucking shoot the shit and talk stories, because we have a lot. But anyway, you know what I like to end it off with. I always like to ask people for their mental health tip, or anything that they do to kind of accomplish good mental health or get their psych good. So, do you have one?
So, it depends on the seasons because we live in Michigan. You know, in spring, summer, and fall, I like going for walks. Just out in the open, wind blowing in the hair. Just really think about everything.
All the hair.
All the hair, yeah. So I like going for long walks to help clear the mind. But in winter or when it's colder out, I like lifting. Exercising, that helps me get rid of all the mental stress and just stress that affects me every single day. So I think walking and exercising are the 2 biggest ones that I do and that I would recommend for others if they would be interested in that.
Does video games at all, or is that just
video games sometimes, but when I actually have like mental stress, I think exercising is probably like lifting and getting all those emotions out. That's really sets it for me.
And do you like to walk or exercise with no noise, or do you like music or podcasts, or like what do you do?
Walks, I don't do any music, but exercising, I get the rap or like some heavy metal going. Yeah.
Okay. Like what's it called? Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse. That's a classic. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. It was fun.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Did it go by quick?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Everyone says it does, so I'm just kind of used to the pace by now. But anyway, if you'd like to come on, I would love having you on, whether you want to have silly chat or like a discussion more that's around a sensitive topic. I'm open for either because I realize silly chats also help improve mental health, and that's the ultimate goal of this podcast. So find me on Instagram, fucking stutter. Do you know my Instagram handle?
TIMM podcast?
Oh! Yes, Wes got it right. Instagram is TIMM podcast, so send me a DM or something. Send me a text message, call me, or an email at...
FaceTime them.
Or FaceTime me, or Facebook. Here's the real test. Do you know my email address for this?
What does it start with? I might be able to get a guess.
It's similar to the Instagram.
No, I don't.
Alright, well, Wes is only half a fan, so we're going to have to take care of that after this, but it's timmpod@gmail.com. So find me on something, come on. I would love having you on. Strangers, older adults, got to get the kids on. I have every age group tapped from 18 to 55 plus. But the 0 to 17, I don't have any listeners, so I need to get the fucking kiddos on. But anyway, hit me up. Thanks for listening. Hope you had a good Easter by the time you listen to this. Any final thoughts? Closing thoughts?
Just good vibes. Good vibes.
Good vibes. All right, guys. Until next week. Thank you.